Welcome back. Today I'll be doing a little bit of welding on this. First time I've ever done one. It is a 2006 Toyota Auris, I believe it's pronounced, SR180. Apparently I believe it's had a bit of welding done underneath here. It's going to need a bit of attention there, and the owner has jacked it up a little on the sill, and it's sort of collapsed a bit. So like I say, never done one of these before. I don't know what to expect underneath this sill cover. As you can see, it's clearly not off. I do know how they come off. I hate these things, just shit traps. They are motors. I know they make some motors look half right, but for me they're not my cup of tea. As we all know, I like the old metal cars, not plastic ones. But it's for a customer, so it's got to be done. His MOT is due. Apparently these are meant to be quite nippy little cars. Never driven one before, apart from outside here to inside here. About 50 yards at the most, sort of thing. Hang on a moment, just get put that on the lock. Oh fuck, where's my torch gone? Oh, it's there. I lost a torch the other day. I did have 3 of these, and I've only got 2 and one's shit. Yeah. So as we can see, just a quick glance before we start. It's been clearly jacked on there. That's black, so it does look like it's had some welding. So screw's gone there. There's a bracket there, plastic bracket. This is going to be fun to get off, I can assure you. So it's like someone's put that on there themselves. Another plastic bracket there. There's a screw up there, so I presume it's either stuck on or it's got some clips. Right, I'm going to make a start and get on with it. Well, people, I've now jacked it up. Took me a nightmare to get the bloody cover off underneath here. Yeah, I managed to get them all off though, without snapping none of the bolts, and the bolts were seriously gone on edge, you know what I mean, rusted bow. Well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of good news for the bloke who owns the car, but this is my findings underneath. Oh, shit. So here goes. I know I'm going to use the hammer bomb, and you're going to tap gently. This is okay. She's gone there. She's gone there. She's obviously gone there. It sounds all tender around here. I know the MOT tester won't do this, but if the bloke's having it welded, he's going to need to have it done properly, doesn't he? So obviously gone there. She's gone there. You can hear she's gone there. It gets solid about here again. She's very corroded up there, but it is. Sounds solid enough. Sounds like I could get to some metal up there. So that's pretty solid, right? I shall now lower it down and show you what I found underneath a sill. I'm obviously going to contact the bloke before we go ahead, but there we go. She's well and truly gone under there. Really soft. I'm not going to give it too much, because it's not my car to do it to. And it's not nothing I can't do, because I'll just clean it up to here, just up here. Might get away with a little bit there, we'll see. Just pull this glue off. Why would they do that? And get down to about here, I suppose. And then doing it from underneath. Is here. So obviously it needs doing to about here, well probably about here, where the metal goes thin, because it's all swollen there, all swollen down there. It's got to be 1/2 inch thick there. You can see the rust swollen there, a lot of this. And this is where he tried jacking it up, which wasn't the most cleverest thing to do on a car that's 20 years old. I've not been in there yet, took this off. Oh, I'm gathering it's gone in there as well, I would say. So I'll get a sneaky preview. Fuck's sake. What's going on in there? To be fair, it doesn't look that bad in there. I'm quite surprised. I thought that would have been gone. But it does actually look like there's metal in there. Might be lucky at that. Might have to do the bottom bit at the end. But I would take all that inner arch out and have a proper inspection. But yeah, she's pretty good. Bad. I'm not going to be able to do really any welding just today anyway. Well, it's going to be a good few hours worth of cleaning up to do here. But it's just so wet inside, everywhere. That is. So there's definitely no welding going to be done there. You can see in there. Where we're looking, there. It's all wet in there, and it's all wet in there. It's just soaked. It's like you can see it all in there. So I'll have to do a bit of grinding down, cleaning up, and then leave it until it dries. But you know, this is quite. Two of these covers, they just hide everything they do. And this technically should have failed last year and the year before. Look at that, do you know what I mean? But what can an MOT tester do if they can't see it? Just a visor, I suppose, you know what I mean? Visor can't test underneath the sill for corrosion because it's got sill covers on. So, right, I'm going to contact the bloke, see what he says, and go from there. Right, I spoke to the bloke who owns the car and he said go ahead, so go ahead we are. So I've just had a very gentle clean down with obviously the aggro wheel there. And if you've watched my previous videos, I don't like to cut it all out yet. That will get cut out, but not yet, because I like to keep what I can there for now, for the curves and all that, the shape of the sill. I tend to make the plate over the top what's there now, so and then at the end then I'll cut it out, then I'll put the plate over the top. So yeah, it's going to be replaced. I'm going to cut out here, I'll cut out all this, I say it's just like nearly 1/2 inch thick, that is with rust. Ain't worth pissing about with. It's quicker just to cut it out and then just build some new stuff in there. Yeah, so this is going to be it. I might try and, when I put a piece in, they just said just MOT it, just get MOT standards. They don't want nothing flash, do you know what I mean? Just MOT standards, so they're going to get an MOT standard job. That'd be nice, but it won't be like as good as restoring something. But at the end of the day, it is only a 2007. It is now, I found out, Toyota. So so get what you want. So I'm going to try and save this bit here, 'cause it's quite nice. Still solid. Solid underneath it as well. So I'll cut out here. I'll cut the outside bottom off. I'll cut it across. There. And then I'll put a little bit onto this edge here. Bring it down when I do that. And then I'll cut out all of this part here and I make all this pretty much probably in one go. I can only fold 3 foot in my folder, so that takes me up to here. I mark there, so the outer will be all in one piece up to there, and then I should make this bit here. But it's quite good really how it is, because there's a lot of shapes happening in this area, and I couldn't continue this shape right to the end. Well, it looked whatever, but and the bonus thing is what's going to be, because this has a sill cover, it is all going to be just underneath the line of it here. I'll butt weld a piece in here, I think. That is really thick. I'll see how assess that, but I'll probably butt weld a little piece in here, so that's nice and flat, so when he does put his sill cover back on, as you can see the height of it, I'll get that. So yeah, most of it will be below the line and be hid up. So yeah, that's what the outside is. I knew it was going to be pretty much like this when I saw it. The amount of crap that's come out of the sill, as you can see on the ramp, that's the thickness of it. I'm not going to be able to do no welding today. Well, I'm not, because there's too much preparation. I've got to do something else for tomorrow. So yeah, it's all just like full of mud in here. It's just terrible, so full. But it does actually look okay in there, as you can see, so it's not gone too far back. Give it a quick assess under there. I've had a quick little wire wheel on it. This is what I found under here, but as you can hear me when I was tapping it in a little while ago, you could hear it was thin. So, but yeah, she's pretty gory, hence why I'm going to do pretty much that again. It is solid up there. I've had a little clean on that. There's metal under there, it's just literally just bubbled and flaked sort of thing, so I know what I'm against. And we should make a start, but well, I'm going to do a bit more cleaning up, but I just wanted to show you the progress of it now. So right, back soon. Right, I've done a little bit of cleaning up there. Actually we are up to, there is okay metal up there underneath that flaky Auris, so that'll do me. Right, so where I'm going to hit first is this bit here. I'm going to do up there, up to that bit there, and put a new piece in that. The reason why I want to keep a straight edge for the inner sill, for the sill to join to, or the plate I'm going to put on there to join to. So I'll put a slice in here when I've cut the plate, slice in there somewhere, and then I want to keep this on there for now, because I've got a nice flat edge there where the inner sill rests against it. I cleaned it up on the other side, so I can actually get a true straight line from here across to here, so that'll finish there somewhere. That's not a bad piece to put in either. I think I'm going to have to go inside the car and strip some of the carpet out for that, but that's right. Look at all this shit I'm dragging out of that. That's horrific, isn't it? And where's that bit somewhere? The thickness of the brush slap. You can actually see it, it's nearly as wide as my finger. It's just rot. This was a bit here where this bit goes, that was on there, so I'm presuming there's going to be a seatbelt brace in there that goes there, but I'll sort that out when it comes to it. I'm just looking for a straight edge to work from there. Then once I've done that, I should probably continue and go up here, work up here, so I've got a flat line to go against. So right, yeah, here I am. I'm just now had a bit of a tidy up in here. Hey, managed to get some more tools out. Got my old highlight there. I managed to put my shrinker stretcher onto its own plate, get it off the bench over there, so I can free up some bench there, which I've had to tidy up. It's amazing for me. So right, here we go. This is the plate it's going to be. Yeah, it's 2 foot long, inch and a half wide. There's the longest part, 1/4 inch down, 1/4 inch up, flare bend that I'll have. Nice and simple. Alright, morning. It's Monday. Again, I didn't come down here yesterday. Bit of a sore head, not very well. Get what I mean? So today I'm going to try and get most of this done today. Well, I should do. Depends if I keep getting held up or not. So I'm going to be tackling this. Obviously I've left the rust there for now, as I keep explaining, that I like to get the metal to shape first, then I'll cut it out afterwards. So I'm going to try and do that up to about here to the front. I mean 36 or 39 inches. That's as long as I can get into my DIY brake that I made years ago. So but that'll be alright. That will. Say there's a lot of different shapes going on in this bit here where it's coming up higher. It's difference in the shape. So I'll just put this piece in at last, and I'll rebuild the bit inside here that needs doing. So right, I've been doing a few measurements. So this is my new bit of sill that I'm going to make here. Obviously these lines up for the different folds. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it all in one with my brake, with the angles you got to go and all that, but I made a bit of a, where is it, bit of a template up here earlier, but I can get it all in one hit sort of thing, so which makes it handy. I don't have to do it in a couple of pieces. So I should be back when I folded a bit of tin up. Right, now done my plate. Let's see, it's over there. I see it profiled around, the same shape as what's on the car. I thought when I first looked at the car, I thought I'm never going to get that, but I did. It's 39 inches long. That'll do. It's going to go like that. This is a nice fit up there. Nice fit there. I'm just going to put the camera down for a second. Show you. Right, here we go. That's what it's going to fit like. Along there, it's going to push up to that nicely. Push up nicely, and there. And then at the end, I'm just going to make this bit here. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do that. Or do I? I might do. No. This is one of my indecisive moments. Here, I'm going to cut this little bit of rust out here. I'll butt weld a little piece in that, so I've got something to weld to. He only wants an overskin putting into it, so that's what he's going to get. That's all going to be hid up by the trim cover for more rust. So, but nice fit along the bottom edge. I'm going to weld to. This is going to be seam welded all around. It's not going to be plug welded because it's not a replacement plate or nothing. So what I'm going to get done next is I'm going to cut along there for now, and then I'm going to cut this piece out here. Cut this out, get rid of that, because obviously the thickness of the rust that was in the bottom of the lip here originally, there's obviously 3 skins of steel in that's swollen up really bad. You can see there's like a bit of a, I can have a little bit of a pull apart now. I'll just cut that down. So I always make my overplate first, so I always get the original shape of the car. Not everyone might do it, but as you can see, there's a bit of an inner sill in there, so I will just put a basic plate. Ain't gonna be nothing pretty in there as long as it's solid, and then I'm going to weld it to this edge here. I'll probably weld that on. It's going to just be basic straight, well, not 90 degree, probably about a 75 degree, and that's going to go as far as it's necessary, probably the whole way along. That'll need that doing. Got to put the proper stem plate in the car. I see on a lot of YouTube videos where people are welding these cars up. In my opinion, that just half of them ain't safe, because you see it welded 1 minute, a bit behind, and all of a sudden you know it's all been covered up and that has been ignored inside. And this basically, this is a sill, but this is thicker steel, grade steel in here, and this is the major strength of the vehicle. And this basically is just a thin oversill just to make it look pretty and put a bit of shape into the car. So, but I don't cut corners and all that. I'd like to do things properly. That's where I pride myself on, and like, I can get the jobs, do you know what I mean? And I get offered restorations all the time to do, but I don't have time for it. So, but yep, that's going to be my next job, is that. I'm going to cut that off, and then once I've cut that off, I'll give you a little update and what it looks like. There you go. As you can see, I've trimmed it up for now, got rid of all that, and you can see the inner sill. As you can hear, that's different grade steel. That's a lot thicker. That is, so that needs repairing properly. Well, it will be proper, but so you can't miss that out. You know what I mean? It's just, the car's going to fold if it has an accident, do you know what I mean? And you've got to think there's people in there with the kids in there and all that, and for the sake of, it's going to take me an hour and a half extra. It's done properly and I can go sleep at night with peace of mind. I've done a good job on that motor. So yeah, I'm going to now clean this back, see if I get some decent metal to weld to, and then just put a bit in here. I'm going to probably drill these holes along here on the inner sill side of it, and then I'll plug it from behind, because I don't have to do so much cleaning on the front face. I'll have a smooth face to weld straight on, and if I want to, the plugs will lay flat, and if I just leave them, saves time. So whatever time you're putting into doing certain things, you gain in other places, you lose in other places, so it all breaks even in the end. So right, I shall now give that a bit of a clean. Right, I've trimmed out what I've got to trim out in there. I'll put a plate in there for just going up for the jacking point, that is, for the strengthening up there. Nice to sound, a bit of solidness in there now. I've cut my plate to go inside here. Straight simple plate, 39 inches long, 1.25 on the return, and that'll go along there. I drilled my plug holes to go in there. What I'm going to do is just put a bit of paint behind here before I weld it all up, and put a bit of paint on the back of this panel here, rough it down, so try and preserve it as long as I can. So next bit you'll see when it's attached. Right, there you go, that plate is all plug welded from behind. I'm not going to bother cleaning them off, they're pretty flat. It just saves time, I don't have to do it on the other side. So you can see a nice penetration there. See, if I was welding that from the front, I'd have to clean all that before I put the next one on, but I don't have to, so hence why I weld it behind. Right, now I'm going to get the top edge welded up now. Right, there we go. I've got that bit welded inside there now. That should do with that for strength. It's much better. Right, so next bit is, I guess I might cut that little bit out here next and just butt weld a little piece in, and go from there. I'm going to dress this little bit of weld down here, what I put in here, just to join them up. A bit of white there, that's what I missed. So yeah, all the welds are nice enough, good penetration. So yep, that's what I'm going to do next, I think. I did forget to record that bit, that was only just straight bit cut out and put in anyway, so you miss nothing there really. So I'm now going to give that a bit of a paint inside there, and then I think I'm going to start attaching out a bit. Right, as you can see, I've now got it tacked on. Looked very well up there, nice fitting up there, all along there, all along there. So yeah, she's all tacked on. What I'm doing now is trying to blend these two areas in here and make some of this. So I'm going to make it, it'll go over the top, join it to this, and then I'll grind it down flush, and then I'll show you what I've done. Right, changing my mind again. I didn't do it separate off the car, I done it on the car. So I've now done a butt weld on there, butt weld in there, and blended it in, so that'll look quite nice. I've also got to do a bit of a welder-thon now and do all the welding all the way around. Right, that's that little welder-thon done. There you go. So now, that took a while because obviously heatage and all that, do you know what I mean? So Now I'm going to have a little bit of a dressing down and tidying these welds up a little bit. So there we go, that's the progress so far. Almost there. There we go, I've dressed the welding down. So I've only just took it to the metal, do you know what I mean? I just like, as you can see, it's just literally to the metal, do you know what I mean? I've not ground into it or nothing. So I don't want to take out what I've put onto it, but I'm pretty pleased that that's come out all down there. So I should be right for an old MOT job, shouldn't he? I just got to do tomorrow this is my own design, this bit here, at this end, because it wasn't really there, so I don't know. But that looks alright. I'm just going to probably trim this here, because I had to sell the car, should have been, but I'll probably just follow it round and make it look like it's meant to be. And what I've got to do tomorrow is just the end of the sill in there. Or not tomorrow, I'll be doing that Wednesday, because I'm not about tomorrow. I've got to do something else. So nearly done. Enjoyable little job this. I like doing this. So I hope it's teaching you something and all that, and you're enjoying it. So right, back for the final bit of welding on this. As you can see, I've cleaned it out a bit. I've chopped out the rot. That is all solid in there, what's left. It doesn't look it, but that is shiny in there. It's just the angle of the camera. There we go, like you see, a bit better from that angle there. I had the old die grinder in there, cleaned it up. So the sill end here, what I'm going to do is just close this little piece off here, just so it ends the sill, do you know what I mean? It saves it a little weak spot there. And then I shall put one plate in here, I believe, and just come across and round and do whatever I do here, and finish off with a little lip on here. So I shall close that bit off first, that little piece, and then yep, that's what I'm going to do. Right, so now I'm going to do is this part here, build all this in one. I'll try and get it in one, so it attaches down here, along here, in here, around here, and across there somewhere. So I'll be back when I've welded the plate. Not bloody welded the plate, cut the plate, get my words out today. Right, I changed my mind again. Instead of cutting out a big plate, I thought, I might as well use some rough cuts. So I just put a couple in there, that'll do. It's all welded up nice, solid. So that concludes the welding on this. It's just put a bit of seam sealer in it here and there, and blacken it up. So I shall finish this video soon and just give you what it's going to look like at the finish. I'm only going to do it black. The bloke isn't too worried about it, so it's going to be covered up by a silk cover. So yeah, right, back soon. Alright, there we go, that's it. Wax oiled underneath. I always put plenty on, so it covers, and it just neatens the job up afterwards as well. So that's about the best that we can do on this job. So I'll now lower it down, and then hello Freds, and then I'll show you the top part. Right, there we go, that's the top side of it now, all done. It looks a bit patchy, but that's because the paint is still a bit wet. In the back there, as you can see, the paint is a bit wet, but I sent pictures to the bloke. He's well happy with that. So yeah, that's going to conclude the sill welding on this Toyota Auris SR180. Thanks for watching. If you like, please share, follow. I'll have all sorts of stuff to come in the future happening on these old things. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.